Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at some excerpts from episode 3 of Street Dance Girl Fighter season 2. Very excited about this. All of my excerpts are from the full episode reaction I just reacted to, and I'm very excited about the discussions that are to follow in the comments. I hope you guys enjoy.
Very intense at the start, a lot of energy. Yeah, fun.
야, 얘는 안 틀리겠다.
Yeah.
와우, 이렇게 잘 맞아.
That was fun. Fun. Yeah.
확실히 베베 느낌이 있다.
Yeah. That was a nice moment.
아, 진짜 베베 같아.
That was nice. That was nice. That was a fun moment.
와우. 잘하네. 아, 잘 쓰네, 그거. 대형을 엄청 잘 쓴다.
Spacing's a little off there. That's okay. For interim, this is very good. Very good for an interim. That was fun. My note that I feel like they're gonna give this group specifically is it doesn't feel like they have their own sense of identity, that they're just a representative, similar to similar to Bebe. Like having their own sense of individuality may be a note that is given. But for an interim choreography, very good. This will probably be in the top 3 or the top tier. I know that there's like you get something special for being in the top, but a lot of their formations or their choices, it does read and it does give off that energy like if Bebe tackled this track, which is really nice. But did it have anything like specifically captivating or like wow moments in it? I think some of their dynamics and textures were really nice, but I would say something that Jam Republic had was a couple of moments that were different in nature in comparison to that was in separation. Like I could tell that it felt like they represent it didn't look like Kirsten carbon copies, you know. I think that's something that a lot of groups, I think, who was it YGX with turns, they struggled with that in the first season of Street Dance Girl Fighter. So I think this would be Team Bebe will go through the same thing that turns did, which probably means that they have a really high chance of winning as well. It's a really difficult thing to do that. You know, it's really nice having their energy as they slowly melt up. It is interesting that they're melting more as Bebe than just Jerk, though. I think that's an interesting thing to note. The energy, some people are choosing to use their full body, some people are choosing to just use their arms. So for me, it would be making sure everybody's energy matches the same, because some people are mostly like throwing, like thrusting and throwing and using their shoulder as an accent, and some of them are actually using their back to create it. So that's why it felt very sporadic, but not as controlled in their sporadicness. But there's a good chance that could have just been the point. Kicking through, boom, that was a really nice moment in the center, having them all go ding ding boom, which is really fun. The twist through with the kicks, bring around, really nice on the accents. Great way to slowly feature everybody. I love that pelvic accent there. Boom, boom was nice. Push it through. One of them in the center having her arm up, really great. Even though if it was a fixed cam, it would have been very clear to know who they wanted me to feature on for that part. That was fun. I like the energy there. I think it's part of me is like, okay, it was really nice for them to explain why they made certain choices. That's awesome. However, sometimes we're not given that liberty. And so you need to be able to showcase the intention behind that through the movement itself without having to give an explanation about it. If people ask after, that would make it feel more appropriate. But because we didn't get any context from Jam Republic, I felt like we were able to understand it a little bit better. Not understand it a little bit better. I feels like there's a little bit of an advantage because they gave themselves a little bit of an advantage because they provided context behind some of their choices versus just letting the movement speak for itself, which is just more so a note, not a critique at all. If you can do that, then do that, because they just did. And for me, that's the benefit of having people go first sometimes, is you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. I want to definitely do that ourselves, because there's definitely a section or two that I think would read better if we just vocalized it. So that was actually very good call for them to actually do that. I love that. Da 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 da. Really nice on the build out there. That little pom pom. Yep, having the energy of your feature, but then as they drop, I really feel like that pom pom, because it was so strong in the bass, they could have done something a little bit stronger to go down besides just, it actually looked more of a strobe as they dropped more so than a tick, because it wasn't as powerful as what we would see from a tick. It is really fun to watch though. Yeah. That pool, doom. It does feel a bit like an unrefined version of Bebe, though. You know, with some of the textures and some of the transitions, they feel a bit more predictable than having their own color of fluency within. These are all the choices we could use in a transition. This is what we're choosing for the sake of the intricacies of the track. There's a difference between that. I like the peel off there. It does feel though that we didn't finish the peel off because two of our dancers in the back didn't contribute to it, and then they went straight into the puffer airbag. I mean, I'm wearing the same thing, so you know how I feel about that aesthetic. That fit, it feels great, but it reminds me of an airbag, and I like it because I feel like I'm walking around with cushion, so I could fall on the floor like an elderly person who trips on something, and I would be okay. But that's nothing to do with this. I like the puffers, but I like the choice that they are involving them in some way, but that little bit just felt a bit incomplete because not everybody was contributing in the peel out, or it looked like somebody forgot, or just didn't feel like it matched that phrasing as effectively with that choice putting it there. I love this bleed around. That was great moment. Great usage of tension. Loved that. That was cool. That pull through. Da 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 da. Yeah, the energy here is really full. That was good. With the head ISO, that bleed through, really nice. But notice that it's a very similar formation that we had already seen the first time. We saw that very tense legato accent out to the outside. Not even accent, but dynamic out to the outside. So that would be my notice. Maybe diversify. Besides switching up your feature in the center, maybe diversifying, maybe adding levels, or making the formation slightly different, just so it reads differently versus you're still in the same formation. Yeah, that's just strong. It's nice. It's good. Right in the column. I like that. Twet. And it would have been way easier to find her if everybody was significantly lower. And because they have something like this adds extra bulk. So you have to really go lower to make sure someone's seen. And they're all wearing the same thing. So it does make it look naturally a little bit cleaner, which is good. Yeah, so like I really like the key point choreo. I like the choice that they did that, because it's a play on words essentially, right? So I think it's great that they were able to provide context, and it makes people understand it more the way you want them to understand it, and they really set their group up for success on that too. Yep, so they built it up, double timed this, so they went really slow with the single, and then went da-da-da-da-da, built it around. I don't think everybody was doing it the exact same way on that unison section, which is something that I would implore you to try to do, especially whenever you have so many dynamics or so many different peel outs or add-ons. When you're in unison, you want to make sure your range is in check, your timing's in check, and how you're utilizing your body is as close as you can, especially whenever everybody's wearing the same thing. People are going to psychologically expect that of you as well. The energy there was similar to what we saw in the very beginning, but because it was cutting in between different takes of that camera shot, that's why it was difficult for me to really know how, if it was the exact same or not. The swing through da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yep, having that moment. I know she was our feature for that little section, but I do wish that she finished out that that step on a lower level before she came up for her part, because it did feel like she cut her own self off a little bit before she got into this bit. But it's nice seeing them have that moment where they go into chaotic into structure. It's a really good transition, really good texture shift, and it does showcase your fluency as a group, and it is tricky to do when you don't have a lot of time. And all of these were done in 24 hours. It's always very impressive. It is. And I love that. Da-da-da, have a little comedic finish at the end. They're like, ooh. That was fun. So they're probably going to score in the upper tier for sure. They were clean, they had really nice moments, and they took advantage of the opportunity to be able to explain what they wanted to explain, so people would actually be able to understand what they brought to the table in creativity by them explaining. So I think this was really good. They should do well.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see any more full episode reactions, excerpts from the show, I have all of that all over Patreon, but I do my best to try to get the excerpts out in a timely manner as well, because I really enjoy just the discussions that I have both on Patreon and YouTube. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you in the discussions like you have been before. And if this is your first time coming to a video of mine, thank you so much for your support and just taking the time to watch. It means a lot. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.